My goal was to make speaker stands out of dimensional lumber I had laying around, scraps. I had some 2x4s, 2x6s, some 1-inch pine, and 3/4 inch copper pipe. And I wanted to get a look for my speaker stands that was sort of a defying gravity. My bookshelf speakers are about 20 pounds a piece, and I knew that the copper pipe could hold it if I could come up with a design that would not bend the pipe. So I straightened out two sides of the 2x4s and the 2x6s, and then ran them through the planer to get them so that they'd be nice, square, usable pieces of lumber. The lumber I used for the top of my speaker stands wasn't wide enough, so I glued that up also. Here are all the pieces cut out, rounded, and ready for sanding. The key to making the copper pipe not bend with a load on top of it was having a deep hole for the pipe to sit in. So I buried the Forstner bit in my block of wood to give it about 3 inches, probably a little less, of depth in that hole. You can see that the hole I drilled doesn't go all the way through the block. And that's fine because I'll drill from the other side with a smaller bit so that there'll be a ledge. The key here is to glue the blocks to the top and bottom pieces. I'm using a 24 gauge pin nailer to hold the block in place with the glue so that I can put screws on the other side. I had a long 1/8 inch drill bit, and I aligned the drill bit by eye with the divot that the Forstner bit left at the bottom of the hole, and then drilled all the way through the board for a guide hole so that I could drill the other way with a 1/2 inch drill bit. When the 1/2 inch drill bit meets up with a 7/8 inch hole on the other side, it leaves a ledge. It turns out that 3/4 inch hard copper pipe you purchase at Lowe's or Home Depot has an outer diameter of 7/8, and it's a very tight fit. So with the 1/2 inch hole going to the 7/8 inch hole, it leaves a lip that the pipe can sit on and be very solid almost no matter how much weight you put on. The design evolved as I built it, and I decided that one of the things I wanted was hidden wire routing. So in order to do that, I needed a slot in the top so that the wire could run underneath the speaker, and the wire would also then run down in the post and then out the bottom. So I added some feet to the bottom pieces in order to give it space for the wire to run out. I found that copper pipe shines up very well with some 4-0 steel wool, and then if you put some paste finishing wax on top of that, it will keep it shine for a long time. Now that I've had the stands a few weeks, they work really well and I'm pleased with them. I like how they look. I will say that if you bump them, they do sort of vibrate, sort of like a weight on the end of a spring. If I had to do it over again, I might use 3 1/2-inch copper pipes instead of 1 3/4 inch copper pipe to get some stability. I've been thinking maybe they would be crisscrossed also, or possibly use some guy wires to stabilize it. All kinds of ways to get after this and come up with interesting designs.